Hi, welcome back to episode 2 of our road trip with Chef Vignesh and Chef Tushar. So day 2, I think they are progressing further towards the target, towards the end of the journey. So over to Chef Vignesh. Chef Vignesh, solunga please.
Day 2, I think we stayed in Vijayawada. So second day we had to start with breakfast. Like a very rare occasion where we actually get to go eat breakfast. Okay. So we had shortlisted on one place called Babai Hotel, which is very famous for its idli. Okay. But we were last minute recommended one more place called Anji babu shop. Okay. I think the place didn't really have a name, but we'll still give a location on where it was.
And everything. But it's the hidden gem.
Yeah, it was in the bylanes with like Anji babu himself on the dosa tawa. Okay. Nobody else is in the dosa tawa. He handled the dosa tawa, and they did I think 4 dishes in the dosa tawa. One was a ghee dosa, a ghee karam dosa. Karam basically is podi. Okay. Nama ghee podi dosa.
Or is it gunpowder as it's known in that part of the
like, yeah, they call it karam podi.
Karam podi.
So it's molaga podi like how we use it.
Okay.
And then they had uttapam and they had pesarattu. They were known for their pesarattu. Okay. And then just 2 chutneys. One is a peanut chutney and one is an allam chutney. Allam chutney was their ginger chutney. It was almost green, light fluorescent green in color that you get.
But is that a very Andhra thing?
Yeah, very Andhra. Ginger chutney is again very Andhra and paired with pesarattu a lot. Okay. And then the idli I think was the best because I think they were timing it so well and they were very particular that the idli comes off a steamer and goes onto the plate. That's it. Like nowhere does an idli wait for anybody.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think that was the freshest idli I've had, at least till now. You could see each batch going in and coming out based on the
like it was orders. Perfectly designed also. There was one guy who just bill. There was one guy for just chutney refilling. There's one guy who just put idli on a plate. And there's one lady at the back who will just make idlis at an interval of 1 tray every 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Just a tray at a time?
1 tray at a time. Now, so I think it had about 20 idlis or something like that. So about 10 plates at a time. That's it. It'll go inside. Every 10 minutes there's one new fresh batch coming out. Okay. The minute it's toppled over, it comes in. So the idli is taken out and then there's an option of 2 or 3 things. I think one is straight away they drizzle some ghee on it. The other, I think the signature, Vijayawada style is the white butter idli. Okay. So he's got a pot of cold water with white butter, the utukuli venna kind of butter. Okay. So he puts like 2 dollops of it on top of the idli. So idli is nice and warm, so the entire butter is melting into the idli. And if you want podi idli also, karam idli, they put like completely into the ghee and out into the...
But per se, Andhra idli batter is very similar to what we use here.
No, I think it's very different. As we were saying, this our batter is rice. Okay. Like we have idli arisi, the gundu rice, and then pacharisi and urad dal. There they use the rice rava.
Rice rava. Okay.
So it's almost like the broken rice.
Broken rice. Okay.
So only the urad is ground, and this rice is just mixed along with the.
So it's very grainy.
Yeah, it's grainy is something body, you can say. Okay. And like our idli is spongy. Yeah. Their idli is just breaking off. It's grainy and like our idli would absorb curry. That doesn't absorb anything. It'll just melt and disintegrate into whatever you put into it. It's not so. No, I don't think that's why they don't do a lot of sambar there. Maybe.
Oh, so there's no sambar.
There's no sambar in the outlet. It's just idli. It's idli and 2 chutneys.
Melt into the sambar.
Sambar it'll just become a porridge. Okay. I'm saying it won't absorb or anything. It'll just melt off into it.
Absolutely.
But that community that they had built. Was amazing. Like everybody knew Anji babu. Wow. And he was called by name saying, Anji babu, 5 guests have come from whatever town. Get them food. He's like, okay, go sit down. What do you want? This guy says, you take care. So he's like, okay, I'm sending 4 pesarattu. Then by meanwhile, just eat 2 idlis. Then last, if they're still hungry, I'll give you some uttapam and all that.
Yeah, nice. And he knew everybody's name, the people who were coming to the shop also. Wow. It was vice versa.
Some people were like, even like Bill. He said, just I'll take care. Last, I'll tell you. Okay. This guy finally, after his meal, he's like, so how much do I charge? He just give it. Just give some 300 and leave. Wow. So I'm not even sure if he's actually counted it, but it's just that he's built that community so well. That it's based on trust. It's based on how.
So this place operates only for breakfast? Or
only for breakfast. They open at 7 and every place in Vijayawada apparently breakfast is over by 10.
Oh wow, okay.
So we had to wake up early, rush and
go there.
By 8:30 we were there.
But we were mesmerized. We were just standing there.
It was crowded. I think there were 25-30 people outside the counter. Okay. At all times.
And how big of an outlet is this? Probably around?
I think 100 square feet.
100 feet. So pretty much a small space.
It was just tawa and 2 anda for the chutneys and that's it. And then his house is right there. It's his house. Okay. So behind the door is his house, and then he
Okay.
just made one small window from where he can just
Nice.
give the food out
So you must be clocking some basic.
easily. 40,000-50,000 rupees
Wow,
sale
on
at
breakfast
him.
alone, is it?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
amazing.
Like
Because
he's
I think we
running the-
spent about 400 maybe. We had like 2-3 each of us. We had to eat breakfast also. So each of us had a
Yeah,
plate of idli and maybe 2 or 3 dosas.
Okay.
Came up
That's
to
it.
about 300-400
And then
rupees.
there's an ice cream dosa also.
Yeah,
Ice
so
cream.
no,
I
because
think
the
that's-
person who introduced me knew him. So he
Okay.
said, why don't you give him the phone?
Hmm.
So we gave him the phone, he spoke, and then he told that these guys are chefs who have come to check out your place.
Oh.
So now he got all excited saying, you have to try my ice cream
Ice cream
dosa, it's my
dosa.
innovation.
Okay.
Which was, I mean, to say it was not bad. I
Okay.
think we thought it would be very
Yeah,
bad.
it had
So it was a
Horlicks.
nice crispy ghee dosa
Okay.
with instead of podi, he put Horlicks on it.
Oh, wow. Horlicks.
Yeah.
That's a quite innovation.
Yeah,
actually.
and then he
And
had some
tasty, yeah.
pineapple jam or something that he applied on top.
Okay.
And then 1 cup of Amul ice cream that he put on
With
top
like
of
a
it.
strawberry
Folded
slush
it. It was
and
like a very,
pineapple
how do I
slush.
say, nice
Sweet
savory
dish,
crepe.
crepe.
Crispy crepe with like, it's crispy, it's sticky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very nice. I think, I mean, kids would love it.
I can imagine that.
We
Yes.
were a little grown up to appreciate that insane sweetness, but I think it was very innovative, very sweet of him also. He got excited in spite of having so many people. He said, no, you just wait. I have to give you my special dish. In spite of all that crowd, he made an ice cream dosa for us.
That's nice.
Made us to eat it. But the pesarattu again, pesarat is that green dal, moong dal.
Moong dal stuffed with.
In
It
fact,
was
I think
stuffed
Andhra
with
is very famous for that MLA pesarattu or
again,
something.
they had
right?
MLA pesarattu,
They had MLA
which was
pesarattu.
again same stuffed with upma.
Okay.
Upma stuffed pesarattu,
Pesarattu,
basically, moong dal dosa. And
Okay.
for example, in Chennai, generally pesarattu we see is very, how do I say, thick. Ada mari we make it.
Correct.
There it was almost like a dosa, crispy, proper, flat, folded like a ghee roast, and then given with like a lot of loose upma inside.
Okay.
I think that was a revelation. Anji Babu, I think it kind of, we were saying it changed
Yeah,
our
from a
entire
chef's
perspective on
perspective,
what
it's
a
your
chef needs to
retirement
run.
dream. This is what you want to do once you retire. Because he's running the whole operation. He's
Okay.
taking the orders, he's dishing it out, he's working on the grill.
And he's done by noon, right? And the rest of the day.
By 11 he's done, and he's got the rest of the day for
Yeah, for
himself,
himself,
just to
right.
prep
Himself?
and then...
Also the experience, like usually you go to a restaurant, you don't feel that community, right?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a very nice place where you can go
It
for
was a
the...
big change. Like in the city, we're always talking about, say, valuation.
Yeah.
We're talking about how to expand, how to grow.
How can we scale this
How can we
up?
scale this up? And there's a man who can easily do another 10 outlets. I'm sure people would have asked him already, saying, let me open it. He's very happy doing just breakfast.
Okay.
I'm sure if he opens dinner, he'll still do well. He doesn't even want to open dinner. He's content with the money, and he's saying, I'll give only good quality. Only
So
this I
easily
can
in a
manage.
month, this guy must be clocking around 10 lakh rupees.
10,
He must
12
be
lakhs,
12
and
lakhs.
he
He must be
net a
covering.
couple of lakhs easily.
And very happily.
Very
And
happy.
he's doing it very happily, I'm saying, and everybody's
Not-
dream, no?
Mm.
I mean, it gave us a whole new perspective, saying, what
Less
are we
is
doing? with
less
What
is
are we
more
doing?
now.
Less is more.
Less
What
is
are we
more.
doing with this? We're running behind something that we don't. This is what ultimately we all enjoy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's why we came into this industry, saying, I love to
Absolutely.
make people happy, cook for them.
Also, I think it adds more personality to the whole place, right? Now it's everything has become a little too sanitized and through SOPs.
Yep.
Like you, rather than the product, you focus more on the SOP so that you can scale up.
Yep.
So this had a lot of heart
And personality, like you said.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was so vintage. Everything was there. Maybe there was a lot of grease everywhere also, but it didn't look dirty.
Huh, it
I'm saying
wasn't
it didn't
dirty.
feel dirty.
Okay.
Might have been dark and little gloomy, but I'm saying the way the guy was handling it, you can be assured that the food is fresh.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nothing will happen to you. It's taken care of.
Absolutely.
Good quality ghee, good quality butter.
And a smile while serving the whole
Oh,
time.
wow, that's
which
good.
also-
That's
he
very
was
important.
happy.
Yeah.
Nowhere
Yeah.
was he like grumpy or.
Usually
everybody
with this kind of
spoke to-
establishment, right, you have all these owners who are usually grumpy.
Correct.
Because they've been doing day in and day out, it's like 40 years, 50 years, whatever,
No,
right?
This guy
And
was
they
a
got
sweetheart
liquid.
where he knew exactly what he was doing. When
Absolutely.
he had to tell somebody to wait, he used to say, just wait, give me 10 minutes, I'll come back to you, then I'll take care of you properly.
Okay.
Then because he told us, I think I need to focus on you because we were shooting and all that.
Okay.
He put us aside and got back to us a little while later.
Okay. So after that, that
Then
heady,
we had to go
heady
to the
breakfast.
OG place.
Okay.
Babai
Which was
Hotel.
Babai
Babai
Hotel
The
Idli.
60-year-old hotel, which originally was part of the plan.
Okay.
So Babai Hotel was again the same.
Hmm.
We just had one dish there, idli with white butter on top.
Okay.
Same peanut chutney,
And
same allam chutney. It's
allam
like a
chutney.
standard everywhere in Vijayawada.
Enjoyed.
Very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think after Anji Babu, the
Yeah, it's a more
expectations-
commercially popular place, and Anji Babu, I think,
he just took the,
is the hidden
level
gem.
up,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
way too up. That Babai Hotel was still nice. If I had it first, I was still raved about it.
So today, in fact, now food has become more than just the food alone, right?
Correct.
It
It's
is
the
about the
entire
experience
personality
and
experience.
what you are actually looking forward and how it is actually
The entire
know,
package needs to work.
absolutely
That's what it is.
Absolutely. So after your Babai shop, then
we were gonna move away from Vijayawada.
okay.
So there was another town called Eluru.
Eluru.
Eluru is further away from Vijayawada.
Okay.
It's about 1.5 hour drive.
Okay.
So there was a military hotel called Appala Raju Military Hotel.
Appala Raju Military Hotel.
Appala Raju Military Hotel was known for all their various kind of meat dishes.
Okay.
Not a biryani place.
Okay.
So it's meals, thali,
Okay.
with like 20 side dishes that you can go order.
So-
Again, a very, very old house. We couldn't find. Appala Raju didn't have a board.
Okay.
If
There's
I'm not
no
wrong.
board.
So
Okay.
we had to go to the place. It was an old house
Okay.
where that you had those old grill doors and all. You had to open, go through. People were living in their house also. I don't know how.
Yeah, you go through their courtyard.
Go through their
and
entire
then
house.
go-
Then there was a staircase that went up, and then finally there was a restaurant there.
Okay.
So Appala Raju, we sat down. Again, the power of camera got us a nice table. It was a busy place. I'm saying
Okay.
if you're going if you had went without a camera, you would have waited for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
I'm saying that kind of a place. So they had a thali, fixed thali, veg thali. So you get good pappu, rice, bendakai fry, which is the bendaka fry, and then one more chutney and taire. All of that is part of it, and then you order whatever side dishes you want.
Okay.
The
I think
tasty
we
things
ordered,
were
we ordered for the chitti royalu
Chitti
fry.
royalu
Chitti
fry.
royalu is like
Prawns.
prawn shrimp
chitti
fry.
nachina, small, so very very small shrimp. So almost like that senanguni.
Senanguni. As in
Very very
the
small
Senanguni.
one done into a fry, very very nice.
And I think that they also pack a lot of flavor also.
Flavor.
As
Any day.
opposed to the big,
compared
big
to the
prawn,
bigger
bigger
prawns, I
prawns.
think
Yeah.
they're much.
I
much
like a
more
lot of those
Yeah,
prawns.
yeah.
They weren't really
like
shying
100
away
pieces of
from
portion
the
kind of. I think.
Wow.
I'm saying that's
Of
small.
course, they're pretty small, but
Yeah.
small
you know, flavor-wise, they're packed.
They packed.
packed.
Yeah.
They packed.
We had
That
that.
we
We had a
had
quail roast.
quail
Kam
fry.
sapita fry that they had quail.
Okay.
And then we had a mutton fry.
Okay.
And then the thali. It was very wholesome. It was not a gourmet meal. It was
Okay.
not a very great setup or anything. I'm saying, but it was a good meal for the price that they charge.
Okay.
I mean, if you had to be very critically saying it was not probably the most best quality rice that's been used.
course, of
or
course.
This, that. But it was wholesome.
Hmm.
It was
And
tasty.
tasty.
Nobody would complain
Absolutely.
eating that kind of food. I think the entire meal with all of these dishes, I think we spent about 500 rupees.
500.
Between the two of you all.
Between
Yeah.
the two of us. Two meals.
actually.
Two meals and including
Nilesh,
we had the
Nilesh,
photographer
yeah.
as well. So,
Yeah.
so I think between
That's
the three of
that
us,
sounds like a very fair deal for that kind of
Yeah,
a
that's
price
something.
and the variety of food,
and you
right?
don't see the quality cut on it.
Okay.
Even though they're making it affordable, the place isn't very fancy,
Mm-mm.
but you didn't see the quality cut on the food at any. Also, you got like a lot of things that we weren't finding in
Okay.
other places,
Okay.
like the quail fry,
the small
the prawn
prawns,
fry.
all of that. They're probably famous in households.
Okay.
Restaurants probably don't do it because it's restaurants like using tiger prawns.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So they've openly did that, and they had much more also. In fact, we couldn't eat more because already 2 meals down we were in the third
Yep.
place.
Yep.
So they had like another 7-8 dishes that we can. There was crab and there was fish. They had like 3 different types of fish curries.
Okay.
That part I really like. I'm saying they made fish curries based on each fish.
Okay.
So they had the viral mean fish curry. Then they had something called bommidalu pulusu. There's another kind of fish called bommidalu that they had. And
Okay.
they had one more kind of fish also done into a pulusu. Same curry, but 3 different fishes done as 3 different curries and all
Okay.
that.
So all with the same tamarind base and
All tamarind
and
based,
chili and
But they were so clear that the fish makes a difference in the curry
okay.
itself.
Okay.
I mean, for us, fish is just a carrier. Curry is
Carrier,
all that
right.
matters. We're
Absolutely.
so used to using
Absolutely.
all these commercially grown fish.
Because in some of the regional parts in Tamil Nadu, I've noticed that they have different fish curries based out of, even though the base could be that of tamarind, because that's the saring agent is tamarind. Sometimes they make it with green chili, sometimes they make it with pepper, sometimes they make it with red chili. So the consistency, or rather the texture and the entire overall feel of the
Changes.
gravy can actually completely change. But at the same time, retaining the seafood, the
Flavor
fish,
to
the
it, correct.
aspect of it, and it gives its own personality in terms of whether eating with rice or eating with some other, tiffin or something like that. It
Correct.
does give.
Yeah,
that.
I think what Vignesh said, when you're using different fish, the curry needs to also sometimes change
Absolutely.
depending upon what the fish is adding to the curry.
Absolutely.
Which
Absolutely.
a lot of places do. They usually make a base
Okay.
and then every fish goes into that curry only.
Absolutely. So after that, where do you guys head out? Or
So
is there
there's
any
one more
desert in
place
this
in-
place or?
No desserts, nothing.
dessert,
It's,
nothing.
that is it. I mean, you couldn't. In fact, we wanted a soft drink because we were so stuffed.
Okay.
They said no Pepsi, Coke, nothing.
Okay.
You can just buy a bottle of water,
Wow.
this, pay and leave. That's it.
Fantastic.
So very quick. I think we were in and out in 20 minutes.
Okay.
Like in the sense, everything is ready. So
I
you
think
just
this
go
segment is a
quickly.
little longer than the time you guys said. Actually.
I think you just go sit, immediately food comes, banana leaf comes out, food is just flown out, everything is ready and kept.
Hmm.
So they don't make a la carte. Everything is made in bulk, kept ready, just dished out into a pan and out into your plate.
Okay. So from there on, where do you guys
From
head
there,
out
there
to?
was one more restaurant we had shortlisted called Krigo.
Krigo.
Sounds a bit fancy.
Krigo is a fancy
Krigo
place.
is a family restaurant.
I
Like
mean,
if you're going
you
with
want to go try this kind of food in a more fancier family
Okay.
setup, more AC.
Okay.
and aesthetics, then
So that was the place. We went there mainly because we kept hearing about their pressure cooker biryani.
Oh wow. Pressure cooker biryani.
Huh.
pressure cooker. biryani.
Okay.
So you go order, you have to give them 30 minutes lead time.
Okay.
So once you say, they start making the biryani in the cooker. So dum goes into the cooker itself, and then the cooker comes straight onto your table.
Okay. So as chefs, how do you guys identify this Jatka method of pressure cooking the biryani, or of course the traditional method? What is the difference that you guys
You
found?
can clearly see the difference.
Of
I'm
course.
saying
The rice is more mashed.
everything. I'm saying the pressure cooker biryani is a very starchy. It doesn't feel like biryani also.
Okay.
It's more a pulao, to be
Pulao.
honest. This is the more pulao answer,
More
because the rice
pulao.
starch is still inside the mixture itself. So it's sticky, it's starchy.
Also, I think they are doing more jhatka. They are not completely cooking the biryani
Okay.
inside. I'm pretty sure they must be layering and giving it 2 CTs to just bring it onto the table. I don't think they cook the complete
They'll
biryani.
put raw rice into it. It takes 10 minutes.
Oh, they'll put raw rice, is it?
Yeah.
Not the
No, they have the gravy made and kept. So the gravy is added and rice is added to it, water is added, and then 15 minutes in a cooker.
Okay. So how was the biryani per se then?
Biryani was good, but I'm saying when we compare to all those guys who actually went meticulously to do dum biryanis, it was not good. But again, the feeling of having piping hot biryani right off a cooker is a great feeling. I'm saying you have food that's steaming right in front of your face. That is a nice feeling, and it's a very home style biryani. I'm saying a lot of our homes used to make biryani in cookers.
Cooker biryani.
Cooker
Our mothers
biryani.
used to make.
Mothers used to make it on a Sunday
on
and
a
all of
Sunday,
that.
correct.
I'm saying these are biryanis that we grew up with. It was a quick biryani.
Quick biryani.
And the accompaniment for the biryani was.
Again, they have the same
Salan.
raita, salan, because Krigo by now has become a little more commercial.
Okay.
So they have the standard mirchi ka salan and
Okay.
This
dahi
thing and a
chutney
lot
that
of
they
green
have.
chilies again inside the biryani
Okay.
to, I think,
So
balance
this was
out.
also a whitish kind of biryani. It was not the colored one. This was again a non-red chili powder or red chili kind of biryani. Again, very good. And then we also tried a couple of other dishes. We tried the burelu.
Which
Burelu
is
is like a sweet that they traditionally serve, Andhra meals. So burelu is, how do I explain it? It's basically whatever the poli mixture is.
Okay.
Chana dal and jaggery cooked together to form a mixture
Yeah.
that we stuff inside our parapu poli.
Yeah.
That made into a ball, and top of that you have a bonda.
Okay. So
Like it's a
basically
urad dal
in
mixture.
a urad dal
yeah,
batter.
It's like a
you-
puran.
Puran stuffed
with
inside a bonda.
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 So that's called burelu, and then they make a hole into the burelu and pour ghee into it.
Wow.
So that's how you're supposed
That's
to eat.
decadent. That sounds
Yeah,
really,
so that's how
really-
you're supposed to eat. They say
Okay.
make a hole, fill it with ghee, and then pop it like a pani puri.
Wow. Okay.
So that's how you're supposed to eat it. That's it's traditionally a lot of Andhra weddings have it.
Okay.
Usually the first sweet you begin with very auspicious kind of dish.
Okay.
So that these two were game changers. They were very nice there.
The burelu was also quite nice.
Yeah.
As it-
And then the manager convinced us to try a caramel custard. which-
caramel custard.
which was nothing to do with Andhra or the entire food trip.
Okay.
He
It
said,
was that
"Okay,
caramel custard that you find in all these old
old
school
Irani hotels and all that would have. That way it was a nice feeling. It was very simple caramel custard, nothing
Well
chefy
done
about
caramel
it.
custard.
Easy to go dessert. Right?
Easy to go dessert. It's like, okay. And then we had that, and then we had to rush because I think we just had this one full day left. So we had to go back to Guntur.
Guntur,
was again
yeah.
back to Eluru, cross Vijayawada, and then go to Guntur.
Okay.
Because we had to go to the chili yard.
Oh.
Guntur chili trading yard was on.
Yeah, that was a fun story. The
So
chili
by
yard
4
one.
p.m. they were supposed to close down.
Okay.
So we had to rush from Eluru. We rushed back to Guntur. Straight into Guntur, we had the location. We put for the Guntur chili yard. We see the Guntur chili yard. The door is open. We go inside.
So the chili yard is actually a government-run place. What
It's
is
a
it? What is it?
government-run place for all the chili farmers to come, and the trading happens there. And
So all the chili across Andhra.
I think entire South India.
all the
probably
Guntur
gets
that you
there.
get anywhere, I think, is going from
Is
there.
going-
That is
because
a real Guntur karam, is it?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. I think we were sneezing continuously the minute we entered.
Wow.
the
like-
symphony is sneezing and coughing. That's all you hear. Even
Like,
the
it
workers
was
doing
easily
that.
it was easily a 20-30 acre property or even more.
And it was just
Chilies, bags and bags,
bags
and
of chilies.
chili.
And all dried chili, not
all
fresh.
dried.
all
chili.
dried chili.
So
the
before
road
it comes
is
to the yard,
covered.
it is actually dried by the farmers.
Yeah,
and
the
then
farmers
sent-
dried everything. This is just where the auctioning and the,
The trading
happens.
happens, yeah.
Just
Okay.
the sale happens. And apparently after 6 o'clock, you can't use that entire area.
Oh wow.
So the entire how many ever tons gets over that one day. So every truck guy is going to be taking the chilies out of the city
Yeah.
that day. So they usually say the city comes to a standstill.
By the time we finished the chili yard and went to the next biryani spot, we could see all the trucks leaving with the
like
chilies.
leaving, like the entire
that
road
were
was traffic.
So I don't know if
completely.
you guys managed to have a look. Any idea in terms of the different types of chilies or how many
No,
varieties
as
of
far as I
species?
saw, it was one type.
It was
of
just one
It was
type
just
of
that
chili.
One Guntur chili.
They were
The long
dividing it based on quality, color.
We saw different colors, quality, and all of
Grades.
that. Some of them with little maybe fungus attack, something which goes little grey and all of that. So they had different qualities, but tons and tons.
It was
and tons.
crazy the amount
I've
of
never
chilies.
seen
We
more
weren't
chili.
expecting so much chili.
Like in
all
a
around.
kitchen, 2 kilos of chili on a table itself would make the entire place red.
Yeah.
We have some pictures, maybe we can share it.
Yeah,
along.
we have some pictures and some video.
Okay.
And we didn't realize we weren't
And apparently that market is for only traders. You should have a
traders.
trade license.
To
To
or a
enter the
government
So how did you
employee.
guys actually manage to go in?
I think my physique
Hey,
and the
Vignesh,
Innova car helped.
when he's in his
We were in a nice white Innova. and
Innova
we
with the
pulled in
flag, with
the
that flag
post
on
in the
top.
palm, which was closed. So we pulled in. I think I was wearing a white shirt. then.
White
So
shirt.
I got
Everybody-
off
There
and
must be
started
some
working.
Andhra MLA they would have mistaken.
I
Yeah,
got
they
off,
thought
started
he's some
working.
politicians and
And
we were-
Tushar was like a typical tourist with long hair and all that with a phone in his hand. They thought, okay, some guys come to inspect the yard or something.
Or
we
show-
walked around for an entire half an hour, 45 minutes. Then finally, when we were going, we thought we'll take one last picture with the board.
Of the board.
And that's when the cop came and saying, hey, what are you guys doing here? He said, sir, we came for you shooting on YouTube. He said, you can't enter without permission.
Wow.
He's like, you can't get out. I was like, okay, we already finished inside. But
Yeah.
okay,
They
I'm
didn't
sorry.
realize
And
we
then
were in for an hour. So they made us delete only that one
They said,
picture.
delete the picture. You can't take the picture away.
Okay.
I said, okay, I have another 2-hour content, but I'll delete that one picture that you want me to.
Good.
So we
So
deleted
this
and
is
walked
actually the place where most of the red chilies across India actually
I think
gets
so.
sourced
I think
from.
entire South India at least. This is the
South
only
India.
place I think chili.
That's
goes
the
from.
supply place for all the Guntur chilies
chili.
going out of Andhra.
It was tons, maybe 100 tons or 1,000 tons was just in that one day, and apparently every day is like this.
Apparently.
And chili is huge there, and Guntur, as said, when we saw it even in other places. On the way, we saw the places where, like how you said, the drying happened.
Where the drying
we saw
was
a few
happening.
godowns where I think individual traders had it, and drying was happening outside their shops and all of that.
Absolutely.
This is where the trading was happening.
So from that place, where do you guys go?
Then
next?
we had about 2-3 places left in Guntur. We thought we'll cover all of that and then head back to Vijayawada.
One
Next
place
one was
closed.
Subani Hotel.
Hmm.
Subani was again famous for the Guntur style biryani.
Guntur style biryani, the green chili biryani.
Yes, almost green chili
chili,
biryani. It
okay.
was not red,
Okay.
nor was it white.
Not usual.
So it was like this greyish
Green.
green kind of fry, Subani Hotel. So we went there, biryani was not ready.
Okay.
They said the batch is in dum.
Okay.
So wait for the next batch to get ready. So by then again, since the camera was there, the owner said, come, we'll show you around. He took us to the place where the biryanis are being made,
Okay.
where the dum is happening.
So how old is this place?
Subani also is a good 40-50-year-old institution. All of them are in the 70s and 60s kind of places.
Okay.
Subani is a very small shack, dhaba kind of place. It's not
I
got
think
the-
it's also again where truck drivers also come and eat.
come and eat
But
because it's right next to the Guntur chili yard.
Guntur
Okay.
chili.
So it's
yard.
basically, I think, for all the guys who are coming for the trading and all of that. I think a portion was around 350 rupees.
Okay.
So we had 10-inch plates,
Okay.
3 plates full.
Wow.
So he straight away asked saying, you want one plate or should I split it in 3? We
Split
said, why don't
three.
you split it in 3? So one portion about 350 rupees came in 3 10-inch plates full.
And like a mountain.
Like a
10 inch is your
mountain
half, what do you call?
Each one is
Quarter
about
plate or half
450
plate?
grams. No, 10 inch is full plate,
Full
dinner
plate.
plate.
Wow.
So each one was about 500 grams maybe. I mean, a portion of whatever.
So
our-
close to a kilo and a half is what
Kilo and a half
is
was one
there
portion.
easily
The
given.
price.
Maybe the meat was less, but the amount of rice in it was
Massive.
crazy.
Presume that was mutton?
Mutton.
Mutton
We
biryani.
tried the mutton
Yes.
one. Yeah.
And then we also tried the chicken fry.
Hmm.
So they had a nice setup. We had a tawa right in the entrance, and there was one guy continuously frying the
Like a
chicken
tawa
fry there.
counter almost.
Is
they
it like
had.
our chicken 65 which you found
No,
down
no,
south?
this is
No,
like
no,
a
no.
chicken sukka, chicken pepper
chicken
fry.
sukka.
Pepper fry. So
That
a lot
kind
of lot of masalas and
lot of masala, like coating latpada masala of sorts,
Okay.
which we got complimentary. Shamelessly, we ate. There was the owner's brother there who we were talking to.
Okay.
He said, "Hi, chicken fry is from my side." I said, "Yeah, wonderful."
See, it's nice
And
to
even the
see,
chicken fry was really nice.
Yeah, it's nice to see actually the hospitality fraternity.
Correct, being very hospitable.
Very
Hospitable.
hospitable, right?
It was
Usually
very
is like-
different
Yeah.
for us to be in the receiving
Yeah.
end. That
Yeah.
it felt a little awkward at times.
And you also think usually such places, they always talk about gatekeeping recipes and not really showing you.
In fact,
This
the
guy
smaller
was
the
very
places,
nice.
They were more willingly to let us in to go check out everything.
He showed
This guy
us
was more than
how.
happy to say how the dum is being made. Go ahead, see it. The masala is prepared here. This, that.
What do we do different? They were quite vocal about telling you what they are doing and why they
In fact,
got
the other day I was
popular.
very surprised myself. Actually, they are showing one of the large places where they prepare Halim in and around Hyderabad. So it must be either Andhra or Telangana. I cannot exactly remember. So they're talking about layering of the biryani, right? So after the meat, this I think is the kacha gosht ka biryani.
Kacha gosht ka biryani.
So they have the the vessel itself is very unique, as in the base is much
Rice
wider
is added one
and
after the other.
mouth is much smaller. So below they actually have the meat, marinated meat, which they actually use a lot of your rista and all these other things and all marinated live. They actually did show the recipe. I was very surprised actually for a very, very popular place. Then they also told about the layering of the rice. Apparently the first layer of rice which they bought is actually only 30%
30% cooked.
The other one is actually 50%
50%.
Then the last layer is actually 75% cooked. These technical details earlier, I think 15 years ago, 20 years ago,
Nobody
none of
would
them
give
would
out.
actually tell. But these guys are quite bold enough to actually share these
Nobody
details.
would give it out to chefs in the industry itself.
Absolutely.
Like when we were trainees itself, we had some ustads who wouldn't teach us.
Okay.
I mean, one or two. I mean, by the time we came in, it was much different.
Okay.
I mean, our seniors used to say that they used to beg and impress them and
Yeah, you had to
take
do a
them out
lot
for
of.
a meal or
And
treat
apparently
them.
you'll have lot of burn marks for you to prove your prowess and
Tandoor guys apparently kept having those.
Having those.
This I'm talking about 30 years back
30 years
or something like that.
Or
Ours
they
was
wouldn't
still
tell you the
okay.
recipe ever. You'll had masala dabbas
Right when
name
they're
1,
throwing
2,
the
3.
masala, you're always sent away to go bring something. Or things like that.
But I think gatekeeping has also become difficult now because the YouTube is
YouTube is
there.
out
Everyone's teaching their recipes.
Absolutely.
So there is only very minute details that you must be doing, which doesn't really give you that edge now. That people, what you were saying, right? 10, 15 years ago, it was very difficult.
Yeah.
But now the information is out there so much that I don't think they need to gatekeep anymore. If somebody really wants to find a recipe, you
They
can
will find
find
it
it
out.
online. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we had to go to the one place that was already we had to actually go to a shop that was closed on that particular day,
Okay.
which is the most famous.
Okay.
That guy had a wedding in his family apparently, so he shut the
Unfortunate for
shop.
us.
We were
so
supposed to go to 3 places. We ended up only going to 2 in
two of
Guntur.
them. One of another place was again like how we spoke, that brinjal bhaji.
Okay.
That made into a chaat almost. Guntur is very famous for it, with like they call it perugu vankai bhaji or something. So curd and bang and bhaji.
Like bhaji chaat.
So that shop was also closed.
I'm second guessing here. Peruku Vengai means big onion, is it?
No, perugu is tair.
Tair, okay.
So they do a vankaya is katrika.
Katrika, or not
Not
Venkayam,
vankaya. Vankaya is katrika. So there is the brinjal bhaji and they add yogurt and all of that on top and serve.
Wow, brinjal and yogurt. That's a unique.
So we were excited about it, but the shop was closed.
Okay.
Then the last dish we want to do was a sweet again.
Sweet
So
again.
this dish is called koa puri or mal puri.
Okay.
Khoa Malai Puri.
Koa malai puri. There are
Koa
multiple
malai
names.
puri.
So when they finally found a shop, no address. It's in front of the old IDFC
It's
bank.
a thela, it's a kiosk.
It's a kiosk called Talluvandi.
Taluvandi. So you're talking about
The sweet.
sweet dish.
Yeah, malpuri, koa puri, malai puri. They were
Malai
all
koa
multiple
puri.
names.
All
Yeah.
puris.
So, all puri. So this is basically, all of us know malpua.
Yeah.
So malpua is usually a fermented batter.
Okay.
So it's usually like a jalebi batter
Pulicha
almost. Pulicha maavu. So it fluffs up.
Okay.
So this was a non-fermented batter. It was just whole wheat flour and water made deep fried in ghee
Okay.
to be like crispy adrasams or crispy taco shells almost.
Okay.
It was like a taco,
It was
like a Malai
shell,
taco.
and then that taco is soaked in sugar syrup.
Oh wow.
It's still crispy.
Okay.
And then it's folded into two with koa in the middle.
Oh wow.
So you have like a taco, sticky, malpua.
So it's something like like how probably a cannoli would probably look like.
Probably.
Look
not-
like, not
probably-
taste like, probably look like.
Yeah, not even look
It looks like a
it looks
taco,
like
to
a
be
taco.
honest.
It looks exactly like a taco.
Taco.
It's made round like an adrasam. Imagine an adrasam how it looks only. So it's
Then-
fried, put in sugar syrup, immediately folded and handed over. It's still hot, piping hot,
Okay.
crispy, with koa, cold koa.
Cold
So the koa
Malai.
is sweetened or unsweetened?
Sweetened koa.
Sweetened.
Pal koa, proper.
Okay.
But it was not pal koa, They do something called kalakand.
Kalakand, yes, of course.
So it's like, how do I say, slightly split koa. It's got grainy texture. Pal koa is very smooth.
Okay.
It's
Almost
grainy
like a Kalakand rabdi sort of a.
thing which is stuffed inside and just served like that
Okay.
on a piece of paper. Like a piece was about 35-40 rupees.
But that was a revelation. That was one of the best things we had
is it?
throughout the. Yeah.
I think
Was it too sweet?
We
for
were
you guys
discussing
to
how
taste
we
or-
can recreate it.
it was sweet. Yes, it was very.
It was
Indian
crunchy,
Mithai
sweet,
but
but
it's because it was crispy. It's hot. A cold koa inside, various textures.
the sugar
And
syrup
it
was
just
not.
this big. I mean, it's like 2-3 bite.
3
taco.
bite maximum.
They always, I mean, when you talk about experiencing the food, right? You talk about the taste, you talk about the texture. But this is the first time I'm rather consciously thinking about a time where the outer is hot, the inner is
Yeah,
cold.
The temperature
also
also
makes
makes a
big
difference.
But
yeah.
is there any
Like
other dish
brownie
that,
sundae?
that has something is hot on the outside?
I'm
and
saying a
cold?
baked Alaska and things
or
like
Or
that.
like a brownie sundae.
A
You get
fried
that
ice
warm
cream.
brownie
Fried ice cream
and.
is famous because it's got contrasting textures and
Of course.
But it was a very
Temperatures.
original thing. Like I don't
Like
think.
I've not seen something like this before.
Yeah, we have seen malpua separately and
Malpua,
rabdi
rabdi,
and
which is
jabli,
soft.
jalebi separately.
A crispy, and this was just a taco. Like if I'm doing an Indian taco menu, I can put this as a taco.
Yeah.
Like it can be a sweet taco on the menu.
So with that dessert, did you guys bid adieu to your trip, or is
I
it
think from there, Guntur, we said thank you.
okay?
Ah,
So
and
we
that
headed
was
back to Vijayawada. So we were going to leave the next day. And the next day morning, we had another couple of places to cover before heading out.
Okay.
So
just two, I think.
That's
right?
it. They just went. I think we didn't have dinner. We skipped dinner. We couldn't do anything. Slept. Next day morning, we had one more idli place to see last. So it was called Triple S Paka Idli.
Okay.
So this is actually the most older of the idli places apparently. So 50-year plus place. The place was a vibe.
Okay.
So it was an entire thatched roof.
Okay.
Both sides had Kadapa stone tables and Kadapa stone benches.
Benches.
And everybody was sitting there
Shared-
shared with people.
Shared
Communal
dining.
Buy the coupon.
Okay.
So I think it's 30 rupees for 3 idlis.
3 idlis.
And then you pay 5 rupees extra for a sachet of ghee.
And it's
like
a
shampoo sachet.
of
yeah, of ghee, Nandini ghee.
and then you go. The unique part is I think they were so busy that they didn't put idlis into the holes. They
They
just
would
filled
just
idli into the entire tray.
tray.
Used to get square idlis.
Square idlis are there,
Square
and it's
idli with a
fast
bump in the
production.
middle. Because of it is so fast.
Okay.
Again the same. Out of the steamer onto your plate, straight into your hands.
You can see your idli coming out of the steamer and then being served.
Very
So
good.
that
Same palli chutney. They do a getti chutney here.
Oh,
but
getti chutney
like a
again.
getti, peanut chutney.
Okay.
And then the same ginger chutney and the idli. Again, very nice.
So the
White
the
butter
coconut chutney
again.
is very indigenous to Tamil Nadu, is it?
I think so. This was peanut and coconut maybe.
Yeah, okay.
One of the
Yeah,
places
of
I found it
course.
was and coconut, but peanut was the base.
Okay.
This pure coconut chutney I think is a very Tamil
Tamil
Nadu
Nadu
thing.
thing.
Because those guys wanted peanut, it had sourness, it had
Yeah, even in
it had
Bangalore, they
chili.
end up adding like coriander and stuff. It's a little greener,
Bangalore
right?
also
The
green
coconut chutney here.
is wine coconut
Because I think that goes well with your banana dosa, right?
correct. And idlis, Brahmins and all that. gives that
Brahmins only gives
green chutney.
green chutney, no sambar.
Clarifying here, Brahmins is the outlet that you guys are
Yeah,
talking about.
Brahmins idli bar.
Brahmins Coffee Bar is a place in Bangalore that serves really good vada and idli.
Okay.
And
So it has been one hell of a trip for you guys for the first time.
Yeah.
So what do you think are some of the highlights that people should probably try when they go to this particular belt?
I think the Shahi Ghosh biryani is for sure. And there's one more place that we went to after this, which was also a highlight saying because the entire trip we didn't have Andhra meals.
Oh wow. Okay.
Typically,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
saying that's so
the
famous
thali
for
and Andhra meals.
here.
Yeah.
We went all the way, but never except for that one military hotel,
Okay.
which again was a very military hotel experience. It didn't feel like a very Andhra. There's a place called Murugan Hotel
Murugan Hotel. Okay.
in the highway outside Vijayawada. So anybody even driving past can
We'll
stop
see
at
a big
the
board.
Just
Yeah.
a point of clarification here. Murugan is supposed to be a Tamil god, right?
I think the owner is a Tamilian.
Tamilian guy. Okay, there you go.
Okay, but does Telugu food.
Telugu.
Telugu food.
Okay, so Murugan is on the highway and he's open only for lunch. They open at 11, close at 4.
Okay.
That is all their entire day's operations is.
Okay.
And they have 4 non-veg dishes. There was one fish curry, one mutton curry, one chicken curry and a prawn fry. That is it. And thali.
Okay.
And a very nice
And
black
a-
pepper podi.
Great omelette also that they did.
Okay.
So we went, we ordered everything. I think it was a wonderful experience. Very, very hot rice. Service was very, very impeccable. Good podi, ghee.
And
They
that's
brought
where
a
they
cream,
give the
yeah.
the
That's
cream
how
of
we
the
mentioned
dahi.
The cream for ulavacharu, just the curd stop
yeah.
cream is kept out. They got us an entire bowl of just that cream.
Okay.
That goes
Brought
well
in the
with.
mutton curry. They said eat the mutton curry, add cream to it, mix the entire thing and eat.
Wow.
So it's like in the sense a spicy mutton curry became almost a shahi mutton mutton korma kind of gravy.
Okay.
Again, brilliant experience. Very, very hot rice, very, very quick service.
Okay.
Usual parpu, poriyal, one fry, appalam, curd. Everything is perfect. If you have to have the best Andhra meals experience.
And was
With
that your,
great service.
Was that your last meal in that particular?
That was the
That
last
was the
one.
last
I think we
And then we just
pulled the line
slept
there.
through the return journey, and that was,
Absolutely.
I think,
Absolutely.
one final meal in
Absolutely.
Andhra.
Like I said, it must be one amazing trip for you guys together. I
Yeah.
wish I could have joined you. So it's unfortunate I was not able to join, but maybe the next upcoming trip we'll look forward.
Inshallah, next ones.
Yes, for joining.
It was an
Probably.
eye opener for sure. The trip was
Absolutely.
amazing.
So two things. As someone who loves food, in this particular stretch, what are the top 3 places you'd like to suggest from your personal experience?
From my side, I think I'd say Shahi Ghosh Biryani from Serenade, the other shop, not DV vendor.
Okay.
The Malai Puri
Okay.
and Murugan.
Murugan.
Okay.
And of course for the
And
communal
Anji
experience.
Babu.
Anji Babu.
Anji Babu.
I would say if he's saying those 3, then I would say the bhaji stuffed with the chicken biryani. That was amazing. Anji Babu's idli place and the Malai Puri. These 3 were my favorite. Shahi Ghosh biryani is the best thing, but apart from that, these 3 were really nice.
And as chefs, is there any learning that you guys can share in terms of,
So much.
Multiple. I mean, it's one is about how important it is to stick to what you can do well.
Okay.
And stick to just that.
Okay.
Not necessary to have 100 dish menu.
Okay.
If I'm great at idli, I can stick to idli and make a fortune out of doing just idli as well. And being happy doing what we are. That is one.
The sense of community, I think I realized
being
that
grounded with the community was
we are
another.
going the opposite way, right? Every restaurant has to be bigger and better and magnus opus sort. So going back to simplicity and more focus on the
And
product.
with the aggregator, I think we're still losing touch with the customers, right?
Customers,
When 20 years
completely.
ago, when the aggregators were not there, right? I mean, we used to invariably know who calls us and gives us the order.
Yeah, and home delivery, you had to call up the restaurant for that home
Exactly.
delivery,
I don't
right?
know who's serving me, where he's serving me from,
Yeah.
nothing.
That has
part was still there because it's slightly smaller town compared to the cities. I think that sense of community still was there. I think that was a great eye opener.
And that if your product is great, then the better idea is to set your standards in a way that you can serve the masses. Keep it affordable, do a good product and serve the masses. That's a better business model than maybe opening a 7 crore restaurant which is serving all the cuisines in the world and then is shutting down after 7 months. Because these institutions have been there for like 60, 70 years, right? So
and doing
a
it
lot of
happily
the
and doing it
And the
consistently.
guys you also met, they're like second generation or probably third
second
generation.
generation. Or
most of
sometimes
them were
first
second generation,
They
yeah.
were very happy that they're being recognized.
Yeah.
They're still, I mean, they're happy without marketing themselves or
Yeah.
without blowing their own horn.
Also a sense of pride in their product apart from just being that we are the owners of this. They really wanted or believed in their product, which I see like that detachment from the product is happening more and more in the commercial part of the
They're all
industry.
getting commercialized.
Yeah, so
As
for-
chefs, I think it was a nice
As
way
a
to
chef, it
get
was a very
back.
nice eye-opening thing that okay, let's go back to the roots of why food works, and it's not the aesthetics and every other part. It's your passion about
Well,
the
that
product.
sounds quite very refreshing, and I'm very eager to try some of these places which you guys have been to. And I really look forward in collaborating with you guys more on the next upcoming trips, which we will be able to schedule out shortly.
Schedule out.
And also more collaboration in terms of recreating some of the experiences and teaching our viewers and ourselves a little bit more about food and the commerce around it. So thank you once again for being part of this wonderful journey, and look forward and see you guys again.
Thank you for calling us. Pleasure.
Thank you.
Pleasure having a conversation
Thank
with
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.